see who was on Rogan?
Yeah, can I just say something? Because I saw this. I didn't watch all of it. I don't know what. The entire first 10 to 15 minutes of this is talking about how great it was that Brendan got out of fighting. And, like, I mean, it's like, basically, imagine if you got into MMA, right? And I was like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. And then you quit, right? And we had an hour-long conversation where I went, thank God you took my advice, bro, for not being in MMA, because, dude, you fucking suck. Like, that was basically the theme for the first thing. No, it's great that you got out, because some of these guys are really good, and you would have been a fucking loser with CTE. You would have looked like a real asshole. And Brendan just had to sit there and go, yeah, man, thanks so much for the advice. It was very awkward, but I didn't get this far in.
So this is them. It was a lot of it was MMA talk. But this is them talking about comedy. You know, two comedy legends.
Two fucking legends at the table.
Yeah.
Shooting the shit.
So I figured all the comments are
like
just like, Brendan Schaub's an idiot, Brendan Schaub's a moron.
Okay.
Anyway, let's play this.
Thank you, good night. There's nothing. They're like, fuck you. You're like, whoa, sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to bomb like that. But I definitely wasn't as funny as him.
I wasn't expecting to do this, fellas. I apologize.
But then we all started.
Oh, something that a lot of the comments are pointing out. So I'd rather tell you before, so you can kind of see what's going on. Something that a lot of the comments are pointing out is notice Schaub's chemistry that he has with Callan, where every time Callan says something, Schaub's like, no, you're wrong. It's this way. No, you're wrong. But every time Rogan says something, it's like, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a total, and it's not just Rogan. It's literally like any guest they have. It's like he only treats Brian Callen like shit. Yeah. Well, no, he treats Theo Von like shit too, because he steals his jokes.
Right.
Like he steals his jokes, like jokes that he just said. Right. But like, then we'll sit there and deny it, not go like, "Oh, you said that first. Oh, my bad." But he'll go like, "No, that was my joke." You're like, he just said it's on tape. Like, because we've done that to each other sometimes, and then go, "Oh, did you say that? My bad."
Yeah.
But he's always, "No, man, that was always my joke."
Started hanging out together, right? And then it was like Ari and Red Band and Duncan, and we all supported each other, and we all
crushing it.
Started just spreading this idea, like we're all friends, okay? Like just because we're all doing the same job. We're not in competition with each other. We're supposed to be the opposite.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be in support of each other. And then
Very
if
much
you do that,
competition.
then we can bring other people along too. And instead of it being a network like NBC or ABC or CBS or whatever, these people you don't know. And their job is just to find people that they can sell on television.
But you have a Netflix special.
They're trying to find
bring
a
eyeballs
product
to their network, yeah.
They're trying to find a product, whether it's the Tonight Show or it's Friends or whatever the show is. They're trying to figure out how something could go in there, and everybody feels like they're competing for that. Well, I'm like, we're in the opposite situation now. Now, the more people, the better. So it's not like you and I are both competing for some fucking roll on Cheers. It's not what it is. Now it's the more, the better.
Yep.
Like the more, if you know funny people, and then they go, oh, Brendan says that guy's funny. He must be funny. He knows funny. And then they watch that guy, and you can, and then it's
Brendan knows funny.
Brendan's been put. Look, I gotta say,
when you think of funny, you think of Brendan.
Not even funny, but when I think of like veteran comedians who have like paid it forward, you know what I mean? People who have put people on. You know, I think of people like Doug Stanhope. I think of people like Bob Levy, and I think of people like Brendan Schaub, just an old veteran, old salty vet, just trying to help young comedians out.
a real network. So then it's a network of friends. So it's a different kind of network. There's no contracts.
No.
But everybody knows if Theo Von tells you somebody's funny, that guy's got to be funny because Theo Von is funny as fuck.
Yep.
So it's this like nice little thing where everybody's kind of helping everybody. And then when you go there...
You just described the reason is this little frat boy club where that's why Schaub has a Showtime special. And there's legitimately funny comics out there that get nothing.
Nah, dude, it's like, dude, I'm telling you, man, this cronyism thing is amazing. It's like you buddy up with some guys, and then they buddy up with some guys,
Right.
and then you push out your competition like a cartel.
Now it's like a feeling of family. Like every time we go to the store, it's all hugs. Everybody's hugging. You know, it's all like, what's up?
So Schaub parking in those spots that are reserved for, you know, regulars there and people that have been working, and then all of a sudden he gets a Showtime special and he parks his car there, and people complain quietly behind his back, but don't actually say anything.
I bet the morale there is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up? It's
Yep.
all friendly. It's not all the weirdness, man. And it helps people. It helps people get over the hump, because sometimes what keeps someone from becoming a professional is like you don't have supportive friends, and you don't put the extra effort into it because it doesn't feel good to be there, because you're not doing well because you bomb too often. That's a big one. You need someone to like pull you aside when you're bombing and go, hey man, you gotta stop opening with that bit. You make people uncomfortable.
But also go, I've been there too.
Yes, we've all been there. Dude, anybody who tells you they haven't bombed is either a thief, either they've been stealing,
Or hasn't done a Showtime special.
Doesn't have CTE.
Yeah.
all their jokes, or they're just not telling the truth.
They're not real comic.
It's hard.
Did you hear Schaub? They're not real comics. You're not a real comic, Schaub.
They're not part of like.
You're not.
They're not a part of this thing of ours.
Yeah. But I'm not either, by the way. But I'm not LARPing and pretending to be one.
No, but they're not part of this brotherhood. No, I know, and that's the same thing because people yell at me and be like, "You're not a comedian anymore either." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't. You're never gonna see me sliding in and being like, yeah, this thing of ours, this fucking brotherhood."
It's fucking hard, and you get humbled every time you come up with something new, and every time you have to do a new special, and every time you have to put away the old jokes and write new ones. You're humbled. You're eating shit all the time.
Brendan's
There's no
like,
way.
man, I know, man. It's like when I wrote my second hour, and then my third hour, it just became like, old hat, man. Yeah, that's the thing. Brendan Schaub and Joe Rogan are going to do the Louis C.K. thing now.
Yeah.
They're just going to do a new special every year.
You're not going to.
Yeah.
If you're coming up with a new bit, there's going to be a time where you're going to say it where you've never said it before. That's just a fact, and it's never going to be that good when you're in that state.
Can't be, yeah.
No, it's Bambi legs.
Process,
It's all like it's all Bambi on ice.
It's
just
so embarrassing.
trying to fucking.
It's so embarrassing.
and you're forcing it. It's clunky. That's the game, though.
Yep.
That's what we do. And the more we do it together, the more we help each other, the more it makes people want to come see it too. So it's like the store's never been more packed. It's never been more packed. It's sold out every night.
Every night.
It's everybody's got a good vibe. It's nice.
Yeah,
like
you're
everybody
right.
you see there, everybody's happy to see everybody. Whether it's
Yeah, because the store is packed with a bunch of sycophants who just go together because they don't know each other. It's the same group of people. It's just the same group of people.
There's no
Rick Ingram.
darkness.
There's no darkness.
No.
Everybody's happy. It's nice people.
I
You see
think
Sebastian.
Scotty-
I
hey.
love how out of touch people in a bubble are. And then they take that perception of things from their bubble and they think that everything outside the bubble is exactly how it is in their bubble. No, man, it's not the beloved, man. Everybody just giving me free shit all the time. And I just have billion. Wait, do we not all have billions of dollars? What is that? Wait, what?
You don't have an entire double-decker garage filled with sports cars?
You don't have Susan Wojcicki's cell phone number? That's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, I think you
That's very
started
nice.
that.
I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to promote the thing that we all want. We all want it. It's not like you're trying to show people something they don't want. Everybody wants family. Everybody wants
Family.
brotherhood and sisterhood. Everybody wants
Joe,
like
let's stop pretending like you haven't been around for 30 years and nobody can still pin down what you want. Right?
Yeah.
He's sitting here talking about what we all want. Joe, nobody knows what you want. You're such a guarded off weirdo that nobody knows what you want. Stop pretending like you're this open dialogue guy. You don't give anybody anything about yourself.
a nice community. Everybody wants to feel good. But like some people think everybody has imposter syndrome too, man. When you meet famous people, like I had a phone call the other day with Johnny Depp.
You did?
Me and Johnny Depp are talking on the phone, and I'm like,
He just did the thing that you said. I just had a phone call
like,
with
dude,
Johnny Depp.
it's like
Me
people-
and Johnny Depp were on the phone.
Bro, people are so negative sometimes. It's like I read these stories, right, in the news about like, these Amazon workers, they're striking, people at Walmart, they're having like food drives in the Walmart so that the Walmart employees can eat. And it's like, so I was like talking to my buddy George Clooney on the phone the other day, right?
Right.
And he's like, yo, man, Johnny Depp was saying to me the other day the same thing, that it's fucked up that so many of these people that work at Walmart and Amazon are so negative. They have such a negative energy, Royce. They make their $8 an hour, which is whatever, and then they need food drives to feed themselves, and so their own employer parades them in front of the customers and goes, look at this poor piece of shit. He needs free food from you, even though they should probably pay them enough to feed them. So anyway, Johnny Depp was telling me the other day, like, yo, how many rings is too many rings to wear? Because I have 27 rings on. And I said, Johnny, that's far too many rings. It's far too many rings.
Yeah, I think you
Very
started
nice.
that.
I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to promote
Here it is.
the thing that we all want. We all want it. You know, it's not like you're trying to show people something they don't want. Everybody wants family. Everybody wants brotherhood and sisterhood. Everybody wants like a nice community. Everybody wants to feel good. But like some people think, everybody has imposter syndrome too, man. When you meet famous people, like I had a phone call the other day with Johnny Depp.
You did?
Me and Johnny Depp are talking on the phone, and I'm like, what is going on in my fucking life where I'm here having a phone call with Johnny Depp?
Do you want to come on the podcast?
Oh, I don't know. I just wanted to talk to him. It was just a cool conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to fucking...
Okay, I just wanted to talk to him, but I'm going to bring it up on my show. Right? But you see what I mean? Like, if you really just wanted to have a conversation with Johnny Depp and not have him on your show, you wouldn't have brought it up on your show, right?
Whatever, man. I don't know, but leave a comment.
But he left it open.
Yeah, but like leave a comment on Johnny Depp's things. Tell him, but I don't care, whatever, either way.
Yeah.
Good guy?
Oh, he's a very
I'm a
nice
fan.
guy. I'm a big fan.
Me too. I
he's
love
a
Johnny
he's
Depp.
a sweetheart of a guy.
Phenomenal.
Too. But it's like talking to him on the phone. I'm like, what is this
Brendan
like?
knows him too. So
Yeah,
they're all
I saw him
tight.
at the comedy store.
Yeah, I saw him on a pirate ship.
Yeah. You sure you're not watching a movie, Brendan?
Wait, nah, man, that can't be true because they don't make movies about pirates. That can't be true. Brendan's just really dumb.
And people, I bet even Johnny Depp feels like he's full of shit. Everybody feels
We
full
all
of
feel
shit.
like a fraud. Like
Everybody's a fraud.
Someone's going to pull the curtain up. And you're
Yeah.
like, ah, fuck.
And when everybody
No,
said,
don't
like,
worry,
you-
Brendan. We all know you're a fraud.
Yeah.
There's no pulling the curtain up. The curtain's already up on you, bud.
suck, you're a fraud. Like, yeah, you're right. Everyone's a fraud.
Yeah, cool, man.
Everyone. I
Everyone.
guarantee you, Daniel Day-Lewis probably feels like a fraud sometimes. It's impossible.
I talked to him too the other day on the phone.
Syndrome. Everyone gets it.
But so talking to
Doesn't Daniel Day-Lewis only do like 3 movies in a lifetime, and
Yeah,
then,
and then
like,
he
spends the rest of the
shoe
time
cobbler.
chopping firewood and making
shoes
knitting
in Italy.
sweaters for cats?
Yeah, weird dude.
That's just an odd guy.
Johnny Depp, you're like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm like, what is
And before that
happening?
was Kanye West.
Yeah, that was weird too.
To you, that wasn't insane too?
That was weird
Brendan
too. It was
Schaub
real-
talks like a gay guy who's flirting with you, right?
Yeah. He looks like a
Like,
gay guy who's flirting
if I,
with you.
but if I didn't, like, honestly, if I didn't know and I just met Brendan Schaub and I know who he was and he was talking to me, I'd be like, hey, Royce, does it look like this gay guy's hitting on me?
is this Brendan hitting on me?
There's too much smiling, right? There's too much. Men shouldn't smile when they talk that much to each other.
Weird. It's weird. I met Paul McCartney once at the Improv. I was like, hello. What in the fuck am I doing staring at you? How are you?
A lot of people probably. If he was at the Improv, I'm sure it's a few people that met him. You weren't the only one, Joe.
Yeah.
You a real thing. How are you really Paul McCartney?
Crazy.
I didn't even stick around to talk to him. Just said hi and kept moving.
I met Paul McCartney once, so I married him and divorced him. Took the other half of his money.
Hi. He saw me do stand up too. I was thinking about him while I was in there. I was like,
just
I
kept
hope,
ran
I
off.
hope he can handle it. What if Paul McCartney gets really bummed out?
Walks
Some of my
away.
more- What if like
If I went and did comedy, this is why I didn't work as a comic too. When I used to go do shows, if I walked into a show and I saw Paul McCartney in the audience, I would immediately just do 20 minutes of jokes about how awesome the Rolling Stones were. Because
Like the
I'm a
Beatles suck?
cunt.
How much better Lennon is?
I have always been a self-sabotaging asshole. Dude, really, McCartney's here? All right, I got to go write 20 minutes of material about how awesome Rolling Stones are.
and this is one of their MMA podcasts, by the way.
did like the Caitlyn Jenner thing and got
Heckles
bummed
you?
out at me? You know?
Have you ever talked to those guys and asked to come on the podcast and anyone said no? Or you don't even push it?
Chappelle is an interesting one because him and
Dave?
I have talked about it.
No, Billy Chappelle, Steve Chappelle. What fucking Chappelle would he be talking about, Brendan, if it wasn't Dave?
Yeah. No, Mike. No.
I don't know. Sorry. Sorry, yeah. No, fucking Rick Chappelle, motherfucker.
Oh, that's what I just said.
his cousin. Dave is
Brendan
you
stole
know,
your joke.
I won't be the first one he's stolen.
David said it was like he's like, I'll do it sometimes. I go, but I don't know, you know? And I was like, dude, I hear you. I don't do anybody else's. I mean, I don't have any time.
No, why would you?
Yeah, I don't have any time. And
No, why would you? It's weird, right? When I don't do anybody else's
Kind of a
podcast.
shitty attitude to have.
Yeah, somebody who gets a lot of people to like. That's his show, is getting all these people to have a conversation
Yeah.
with.
And other people do that shit. There's a lot of bigger YouTubers that are like, yeah, I'll come do your show.
Didn't he
If
do
I-
Legion of Skanks or something recently though? When he
Yeah,
was in
but
New
that's
York?
that wasn't. I don't think he considers that doing a podcast or a YouTube show. I think he considers like. I don't think he views the Legion of Skanks guys as like some podcast. They're a podcast / comedy festival / like
Right,
They're
right.
money in the bank for him. So he's he's not going to be reduced to doing Duncan Trussell's show.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he'll go do fucking Skanks because that's the East Coast contingent of whatever's going on in LA. That's like. You got to play nice with those guys.
Second of all,
I know he did Crowder's show too after they had that weed fight on air.
I get it, man. You say enough with your comedy. And it's like, Dave is a smart guy, man.
Oh yeah, someone says he's done Legion of Skanks, Your Mom's House, and Joey Diaz.
And he figured it out. He figured out where it was slipping away when they were fucking with him when he was doing the Chappelle show. And he was like, you know what? Let me just sit back for a bit.
Dipped
just
out.
sit back for a bit. And he started doing, do you know what he did? You see what an artist Dave Chappelle is? He wasn't scheduling shows. Instead, he would bring a speaker to the park
Oh, I know.
in Seattle. He'd set up a fucking speaker and do an impromptu stand-up show.
No, he was still also doing shows. I remember him being at the Orlando Improv. He might have been doing the park thing, but I also remember him on his off time still doing shows.
And everybody was like, what is going on? And at the time, he could have filled up arenas, man.
Crazy.
I mean, still can, for
Yeah.
sure. Still can, still
yeah.
does. The ones I did with him were phenomenal.
Oh yeah, Rogan's been on InfoWars too.
We had so much fun. But he decided to take time off. He decided that, like, let me just sit back.
And you know this, especially at the level you're at, to step away is probably the hardest. To say no is probably the hardest thing.
He's our biggest genius. He's our biggest comedy genius. And he might be one of the biggest comedy geniuses ever.
Oh, yeah.
But he's certainly our biggest comedy genius of today. He understands comedy like nobody else does.
Did you hear what he said to Trevor Noah was on a show, and they asked him about opening for Dave Chappelle, because Chappelle brought him on a bunch of dates. And Trevor Noah was like, he goes, I mean, I'm fairly good at stand-up. I'm not the best, but
Trevor Noah sucks. His stand-up sucks. I don't think Trevor Noah's a funny dude. Some people say that.
No,
I don't
he's
think
not.
he is.
He's I know somebody that knew him. One of the guys I started doing comedy with knew Trevor Noah very well because he did a lot of comedy in the Greenville, South Carolina scene, and even the people he did comedy with were just shocked when he got that show. They were not in an angry way, but they were like, "Wow, really? He got the fucking Daily Show? Like he just came out of nowhere."
I've been to stand-up a while now, and he goes, I'm in the green room with Dave Chappelle, and he goes, and I'm thinking, why the fuck would he have me open for him? Like, he has all these guys, like great comics. Why do you have me? So he
It's a
said
favor
that to him.
Joe.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, Dave, I gotta know, man, why the fuck do you have me at your shows? Why do you have me open for you? And he goes, you know a million better comics. And he goes, I can find any funny. There's a ton of funny people. There's a ton of funny comics. He goes, but you're funny and interesting. So to your point, he's like, we can go to dinner like you're an interesting person.
That is not.
You think that's what Trevor is? Does that sound like something Chappelle says? Or like something that came fifth-hand knowledge to Brendan and he's repeating it? It sounds like a game of CTE telephone.
I don't think that Dave
Talks like that?
has ever said that.
No, me neither.
I hate this man. Am I the only one that just
Brendan?
needs to see him
Yeah.
not be around anymore? It would help my blood pressure.
And people care about interesting people. So there's guys I can bring out who are going
interesting people.
Peoples.
to make murder, but they're not interesting. People don't care.
Interesting. He's got a lot. Interesting.
It's
Interesting.
tough for him to talk, man.
You can murder and you're interesting. That's why you're here.
I'd like to talk to Dave, see if that was an accurate quote.
Yeah,
Dave
do
must
it.
be like, what?
So even Rogan just called. You saw that? Rogan just called Brendan out. That was fun. Let's hear that again. Watch. Even Rogan.
And you know this, especially at the level you're at, to step away is
Here.
thinking, why the fuck would he have me open for?
Why?
Like
Listen
he
to
has
what- listen
all
to what
these
Joe
guys,
says.
like great comics. Why do you have me? So he said that to him. He goes, hey, Dave, I got to know, man, why the fuck do you have me at your shows. Wait, let me open for you. And he goes, you know a million better comics. And he goes, I can find any funny. There's a ton of funny people. There's a ton of funny comics. He goes, but you're funny and interesting. So to your point, he's like, we can go to dinner like you're an interesting person, and people care about interesting people. So there's guys I can bring out who are going to murder, but they're not interesting. People don't care. You can murder and you're interesting. That's why you're here.
I'd like to talk to Dave, see if that was an accurate quote.
Why do they keep him around? They're just like even they
know,
shit
man.
on him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was him shitting on him.
Yeah,
Dave
do
must
it.
be like, what?
Yeah, no, he's like, I didn't say
told
that.
him it was funny. What the
I told him he was
fuck?
cool, man.
Jesus
I told him he's here
Christ,
because he
stop
rolls a
making
good
shit
joint. And he's just, Trevor Noah just carries that.
Stop it.
He said, I'm here because I'm really smart.
Don
I have a
Elway behind him.
giant
Stop
dick.
lying, son.
Stop
lying,
lying,
son.
So it's funny now.
He started his
Just
podcast,
lied.
right?
It's funny that he's
Funny
lying.
that he's
Yeah.
lying.
I did,
Yeah, he
finally.
did.
I tried to talk him into it for literally a year.
Really?
Yeah, I think I started talking to him about it last February or something like that. February or March. When did he do the podcast the first time?
You told him to do a podcast?
But from then on, I'm like, what are you doing, man? You were born
He's
for
so
this.
funny. He
He's
can
born
just
for
ramble.
this. About anything.
He would
could ramble.
take over
Was
YouTube.
February? Okay.
You think if Chappelle did do a podcast, he would outgrow Rogan? And if so, how quickly?
You know what? I just hope Dave Chappelle does like a show, but he's like Nick DiPaolo, and everything has an alliteration in the title, like petulant Pelosi's pee pee poo poo. You know?
I don't know if Nick's the one that Nick's the one that makes those titles. By the way, I don't know if it's one of his
Blundering Biden babbles. It's always that. Oh, it's so annoying.